Sarah had been looking forward to the family trip for months. She had planned every detail meticulously, hoping it would be a chance to bond with her in-laws and strengthen their family ties. However, things started going wrong from the moment they arrived at the fancy restaurant for their first dinner. Her in-laws were late, and when they finally showed up, they were blasting complaints about the traffic. Sarah tried to brush it off, but she felt it was just the beginning of a long night. During dinner, her father-in-law made some ignorant comments about Sarah's hometown, assuming she wouldn't mind. It was clear to Sarah that he had a backwards view of things, which she found irritating but chose to ignore for the sake of peace. As the evening progressed, Sarah's mother-in-law started excluding her from conversations, focusing only on her son and grandchildren. Sarah felt ungrateful for even being there. She could feel herself getting on edge, but she didn't want to cause a scene. When dessert arrived, her spouse made a joke at her expense, which everyone laughed at. Sarah, however, didn't find it funny. It was the final straw. Feeling completely justified, Sarah decided to give everyone the silent treatment. Her husband noticed and asked, "Aita?" Sarah, unable to contain her frustration any longer, replied, "Yes, you are. This is ridiculous." Her husband, feeling embarrassed, tried to beg for her forgiveness, but Sarah couldn't hold back her emotions. She literally felt like she was about to blow up. Her in-laws, noticing the tension, awkwardly suggested that they call it a night. On the way back to the hotel, Sarah and her husband had an irrational fight. She told him she felt excluded and that his joke was a deal-breaker for her. He accused her of being too sensitive and overreacting. The argument escalated until they were both yelling and Sarah finally freaked out. Back in their hotel room, Sarah continued to give her husband the silent treatment. He tried to apologize again, but she wasn't ready to hear it. She felt their relationship was hanging by a thread, and this family trip had become a nightmare. The next morning, Sarah and her husband had a long talk. They both admitted their faults. Sarah acknowledged she might have been a bit irrational, and her husband realized he had been ignorant and ungrateful. They decided to try and make the rest of the family trip work, but both knew it would take time to heal from the fight.